time is that we've got all these roles, and if you're like I used to be, we're trying to keep them all in balance at the same thing. Guess what? It's a juggling act. And when it's a juggling act, what happens? Some are up and some are down, right? Because right now work might be going really, 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 really good, and oh wow, family life is going great, but work's not going so good. I missed that deadline, and man, I'm taking better care of my health. So we've got to find a way to get a firm footing. What do you want? Okay, so now we just set okay, I'm good, and I set my priorities, and okay, cool, I got my priorities. What do you really want?
Lori Hanson is a life balance strategist. Using fundamental principles of passion, purpose, and life balance, Lori teaches students and business professionals how to function at higher levels of personal balance, health, and satisfaction.
So I looked around and I said, I wonder if anyone has written a book about recovery from an eating disorder using alternative methods. Nobody had. I said, well, if I'm going to do it, number one, I'm going to put it out there. And number two, I'm going to add some humor because we're so uncomfortable with this topic. It's just like, oh, it's that mental thing. I speak on college campuses all the time, right? They want to see me 1 week out of the year, National Eating Disorder Awareness Week. The rest of the time, they're like, So I wrote, it started with Pop-Tarts. Because it did!
Author Lori Hanson spent over 3 decades waging the battle of bulimia and shares her personal struggles.
Lori is an award-winning author of 3 books and has been featured on international radio and television.
Traditional approaches, I feel, have missed one of the chronic things, which is body chemistry.
Lori speaks to colleges, universities, women's professional organizations, and corporations, using nutrition and stress reduction as the foundation for a healthier mindset, greater productivity, and a more fulfilling life.
We get messages all the time telling us to slow down, telling us to take a right turn or a left turn. It's just that if you're not used to tuning into it, they're going right past you. A couple weeks ago, I guess it was, I was finishing up something. I had spent a little longer on it than I really wanted to, and it was time to me to be working on something a little more strategic, and I'm still caught up trying to finish this document and this thing, and all I needed to do is do this one last thing and then save it as a PDF, and and I'm almost done, right? And all of a sudden I go to hit print preview. We just go out to spin land, right? Shut the app down, go ahead. Okay, let me try it once more, hit print preview. I'm like, come on, I don't have time for this. I need to be doing that. Let me shut it down, open it up one more time. Oh, man. And then it hit me. It's like, okay, I get it. All right, let me just leave this, go away, go do my other thing, finish my strategic thing that I needed to do. And I came back to my computer a little bit later, boom, fine. Ever happened to you? That's called a message. That's called, yo, listen up. This is not what you're supposed to be doing right now. This is what you're supposed to be doing. And the more we tune in, one of the biggest gifts we've got is the gift of listening to the gut. Whether it's take your jacket, take your umbrella, whatever that is, the more you listen to it, the stronger it gets. So here's a sign that your endorphins might be depleted. You're watching those commercials that are on around Christmas time, and the son sneaks into the house, and the daughter's downstairs, and Mom and Dad don't know he's home yet, and it's a coffee commercial, and they're drinking coffee together. It's just so... If you're crying at commercials, you might be a little sensitive. Might be a little depleted on the endorphins. Now, the thing to understand is this. A, you might have come in pre-wired a little low on some of these levels. B, the American diet has kicked butt on some of these, and that's why there's a lot of caffeine depletes serotonin. Alcohol over the long haul depletes serotonin. So there's things we do that affects this. Now, this is only 4, but these are the 4 that I deal with in helping people. And when you turn them around, it's incredible what happens. I just started a mastermind group this month. I've been going to do it since I started my own business. I've been in mastermind groups before. I read about them in the early 80s from studying Napoleon Hill. Do you guys know what a mastermind group is? So I finally started one this month, and I knew it was the right thing, and I've looked for the right synergy and energy of people, and the people that I brought into the group are business owners each, because that makes it a little easier for us to each support. And the first meeting that I had with these guys, you know, I knew it was going to be great because I knew the energy of the guys were really going to mix. So I hate to put it here, but you know, I probably had the bar here, right? The first meeting was through the roof. Just the first meeting of all the people, and they're like, oh man, we're not going to meet each other till June. I mean, the connection was so strong, and I'm sitting there going, I knew I was supposed to do this. You know, you sit there and you go, Ben gonna. But it wasn't about that. This was when I was supposed to do it. This is when it was most needed. This is when the other people in the group needed it. It's all good. And that's the thing. I guess maybe that's part of what I'm trying to share. You get to 50 and you're better about going, well, shoulda. You just go, you know what? I'm here now. What am I going to do? So my challenge to each and every one of you, including the men, is to not stay stuck in the place that you are today. My challenge to you is to take a quantum step, like Susie did, in making a big difference in your life and asking for and getting different results. My challenge to you is to find peace and tranquility regardless of what life demands. And most importantly, my challenge to you is to learn how to ride the waves. Because if you're just sitting there on the edge of the ocean with your surfboard, it's going to feel like a tsunami and you're going to end up on your butt. But if you put that surfboard down and say, here comes a wave, I'm just going to ride it out. It's not nearly as traumatic, and everything in life won't feel like a tsunami. Thank you so much for having me this morning. Be well and live better.